Hey guys, it's Ren the Paleo Dude, and welcome back to another video. Excuse the noise in the background, there's just a bit of construction behind my house. But we're gonna dive right into another Jurassic World Dino Trackers review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Series 2 Danger Pack figures, or Wave 2 or whatever, which has this beautiful Tupanodactylus, absolutely spectacular colors and molding with this one. Mattel really went all out. The lineup also consists of 2 dinosaurs that I'm not even going to try to pronounce the names of. I know it's bad, I'm like a paleontologist, but here we've got, I'll just call it Pyat and Hanno, because yeah, I did not Google the names beforehand to get the pronunciation, but whatever. We're here for the unboxing, not the paleo side of things. So, also in this line, there's the Mosasaurus again, popping up from the first line as well. But we'll start off with this beautiful pterosaur. The back kind of has this scan code that you kind of pop that up. It's a little janky, but it clips in there pretty flush, even though you can see like the basic outline of it. It stands out like a sore thumb, but whatever. So this guy is from the desert biome. Again, with this lineup, we have a another sort of theme where each dinosaur from the lineup, or each creature rather, is from a different environment. I really love that. You can see the little symbols above each one, and then obviously the packaging is also individually themed to be that environment. So you can see the desert here has some little brush in the back, these like Arizona-like rocks, very deserty, of course. I love that. That's super cool. So the Tupan here has bent wings. They kind of curve down, like up and then down like that, which is really nice. It gives it a more dynamic pose. The legs are individually, oh no, they're connected. So when you move one, the other kind of follows, like that. But they are rubbery. It seems like the connector inside's also rubbery, so there's a bit of like give to them when you do that, which is pretty interesting. It's got a very stubby, short tail. The legs look like any other pterosaur legs and feet. But yeah, no, the wings have some really nice color on them. They really fit the desert theme with this beige fading into this darker brown with the splotches on them. And of course the arms are painted. This part of the wing is not painted, which is pretty sad. In their original Tapejara, you can see even this small thin section of wing is painted, and then this kind of membrane in between there is also painted. So they've kind of been lacking on that, but it still looks like a nice figure nonetheless, wing-wise. But for the head, holy cow, is that fin, sail, crest on the head spectacular. The jaws close really nicely. You can see it's very flush, and the kind of beak here is painted as well. This little nasal cavity indent is also painted, a different color from what the eye, hole socket, whatever. The indent the eye is in is also kind of like a darker kind of purpley, and this one's like a dark red. So that stands out. That's pretty unique. The big ornamentation, the sail, I guess you can call it, on the head, connected to these crest, bony crest parts, is just phenomenal. They've got this gray coloration underneath, and then this red with this kind of blood splatter blotches on it, and this is all printed on instead of painted on, so you can see it's very shiny. That is spectacular. Very long neck too, and dynamic. It's like a thick, robust neck. It's a lot thicker and a lot longer than the Tapejara, which got this kind of small, thin neck, and you can see it's in a ball joint, very robust, thick body in comparison to the Tapejara, which is kind of flattened and thin. And the teeth inside are really nice. You can see they're pretty fine, but they're not as separated as the Tapejara. The Tapejara is good though, because you can see each of the teeth are individually painted. They didn't just leave it non-painted. The crest is way bigger than Tappy's crest. I do like Tappy a lot better. It looks very cartoonish with the eye and everything, but the paint on the head is not printed on, it's solid paint, so it stands out a lot nicer. It's not as shiny and glossy. It's pretty matte, which is nice. But yeah, this is a great addition to the crested pterosaur lineup, and a welcome surprise for sure. So that guy's spectacular. I know I spent a lot of time talking about him, but let's see what else we've got. We've got the Pyat here. So this guy looks like a baby or a young juvenile Yangchoanosaurus. So we'll compare him to that guy in a bit, but you can see the head is chunky. It looks like a Rex head almost, with the eyebrows and the width of the skull. But the bottom jaw here kind of goes up. You can see it has this like kind of, looks almost broken in a sense that it regrew in this kind of funky fashion. But the teeth also go up on that kind of hump that happens inside the bottom jaw. But the top jaw looks completely fine, and it actually closes nicely too. So that is a nice unique feature that they gave this little theropod to stand out from the rest, this weird jaw. It's got two crests, only one side of the crest on each side is painted. The eye has this like red splatter to highlight it, very menacing looking. And then these like green stripes down the back. It's been a while since we've had like nice natural green stripes on a dinosaur figure, so it's cool that they kind of went with that instead of the usual splotches and lines and whatnot. You can see the body is actually interestingly patterned. The scales are very alligator-like on the sides of the body, very square and symmetric. The legs have more of a kind of like cracked pattern on it. It's more random, and then these kind of rounder scales down the tail, and the tail becomes more bland and detailless. It's got a kind of like a sail or a fin on the back, kind of like a spinosaur, but it's got that like crazy Rex head with the crests, and then these spikes down the neck, quill-like, and then this weird dewlap hanging down, loose neck skin. So that's pretty neat. And the head, of course, has full articulation where the neck connects to the body. And then the arms have basic articulation, but they're really chunky, really thick, fat fingers and arms, but short arms nonetheless. Yeah, so it's very Tyrannosaur-like in appearance, but those crests really help it stand out. And I think, let's see, so the oh my god, the Yangchoanosaurus has the crests more closer to the front of the snout. This one has it more over the eye ridges. But yeah, they look very similar. They got similar coloration and similar crest position. So that's pretty neat. Might do some photography with those guys and kind of pawn it off as like a young one. For the jungle environment, you can see there's like this creek in the back and like a waterfall surrounded by like vegetation. So that's a really cool packaging. Next we have the Hano. This guy looks like a what did I say before? Eutyrannus, yes, the feathered tyrannosaur. It's got that coloration like it too. So this is the mountain environment. You can see this one has ferns and kind of pine needles littering the ground, and then these taller trees. So it's the more alpine environment. You can see this guy's got like this grayish white coloration and this brown hair feathers going down the neck. The neck skin actually for some reason is also brown like the feathers. They did not paint that the same color as the body and the head for some reason, but they kept it brown, which kind of looks odd, a little jarring. But they also have the skin on the arms to be that color too, not just the feathers on the arms. So that is kind of fine, I guess. But yeah, the feathers are fantastic. They painted them all the way down the back, and they have some really great details. You can really look and see they look very soft and fluffy. But the head, holy cow, does this look so cool. It's got this like very sleek, sharp black eyeliner going on with this black on the front of the snout too, very ink-like. And then this little crest in between the two eye ridges there is also black. Kind of gives me a penguin vibe almost. But yeah, that black snout and the eyeliner is fantastic. I love that. And the teeth, it's very Eutyrannus-like. And this gives me hope if Mattel ever does a Eutyrannus figure. I'd love it to look like this. The feathers are fantastic, the color's fantastic. It's a really great dinosaur. It really makes you feel like it's from the Arctic or a very cold, icy environment. The body details are a little bland. They've got these like rocky pebble scales here and there clustered around the body, but other than that, it's more like elephant skin all around. But yeah, neck articulation, fantastic. Love the length of the arms. The proportions are really nice on these figures. The neck's not too long, again, very Tyrannosaur-like. And yeah, just generic theropod proportions for the rest of the body too. But that is fantastic. I would love to see that in a medium-sized dinosaur. And then, of course, we've got the Nothosaurus, which appeared in Camp Cretaceous. Fantastic addition to the franchise. I've always wanted to see more Triassic animals. This, of course, isn't actually a dinosaur. It's a marine reptile. It has very bizarre positioning of the eye, halfway on the head instead of at the very back. It gives it a very funky, odd look. I love that the teeth kind of interclose. They interlock with each other. And the teeth on the top overhang, so it makes it look like a complete tooth row. Of course, they even got them in the inside of the bottom jaw too, which is fantastic. They just fit right in underneath the eye. I love the way the neck snakes up like that. It's got a very flat and wide body and very short legs. This underbelly part here is also plastic. They did not paint it on, so it's another piece of the body. So you won't need to worry about scuffing on this. Just the neck might scuff because it's rubbery, and maybe the head as well, because that seems to be painted on there. You can see the black transition into the rubber on the head, or the plastic on the head, and it's got a little short tail too. So this is fantastic. I can't wait to buy a bunch of these guys. They look so cool. One of my favorite Mattel figures so far. Just for the oddity of the species alone, and just the fact that it appeared in Camp Cretaceous is phenomenal. So another Nothosaur to add to the collection. So that kind of wraps up my little review. These guys are spectacular. Can't wait for Wave 3 to drop in Canada. These kind of came out alongside Wave 1 up here, so I'm glad that I picked them all up at once. But yeah, no, spectacular lineup. Love the diversity. All new molds. I'm actually interested to see if they do repaints of these. Pretty sure we might see a repaint of the Tupano at least, but it would be sick to see him in a different color scheme, or slightly different. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Of course, if you made it this far, it'd be great if you'd subscribe and check out my other videos. I've got a whole bunch of different reviews, and stay tuned for my new ones coming out every day, hopefully. So I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.